Can you guys hear me yet?
That's it. I have no idea why that.
Hi, can y'all hear me? Okay. And is there an echo? Hi. Hey guys, sorry about that. How's it going this evening? Yay. We're not sure, we're not at home right now, so we're doing our very best to oh, no echo. Wow, awesome. Great. They say no echo. Awesome, great guys. Well, I know I'm ready to rock and roll. Hey Jen. Hi Sarah and Brenda and Alice and everyone else. If you Jen, can you explain to them what they need to do, or Sarah, what they need to do so I can see their names show up? Because if not, all I see is Facebook user, and I don't know who I'm speaking to exactly. All right, guys, we're already 6 minutes in, so we're going to go ahead and get down and busy. I have a whole bunch of things that I want to show you. This is going to be what I would call kind of unstructured, if you will. I'm just going to talk about like my creativity, like how I created the products and the ways that I thought they would come together and work together. Hi from Canada. So instead, we're not really going to finish a card more or less. Hi from Washington. We're going to focus more on how I think the projects work together and ways that you can incorporate them in things that you already have in your stash, as well as with new products, because we always want to go back and look at our own stash and see what we have. Like I have a bucket that's just Halloween stuff. Everything I have Halloween is in that bucket. Doesn't matter how old it is, how new it is. Hi, Peggy. It all goes in that Halloween bucket. I have a Christmas bucket. All the Christmas stuff goes in there. And it is difficult because sometimes, like this tree, for example, I plan on using this tree in the future to make, to use with gnomes, not just for Halloween. There's a link. Okay, there you go. Sarah's giving you the explanation, guys, of what to do. So this tree right here, I plan on using this for a little gnome village. I might even cut off some of the branches so it looks like these are on the top of a mountain. So you just sort of have to get careful. Think wisely when it comes to what category you're going to put it in. Sometimes I will even like die cut this, and instead of I put the die in the Halloween section, and then I'll die cut one of the trees and put it in with my normal tree die section. So that way I remember that I do have this tree that's in the Halloween section. It's just the way kind of like my brain works. So I do like to keep all my Halloween stuff together. So what I've done is I've just die cut a whole bunch of things, and I played around with some backgrounds today. And I am not home right now. We're in Florida. So obviously I don't have my entire stash of everything. And I can tell you, we do have this one stencil that is it's just a circle stencil. And we have 3 of them. And they're 3.5, 2.5, 1.5 circles. Sarah knows them. It was very difficult today to make a moon without having those 3 stencils. I can tell you that. I know Sarah one time was worried that I was going to discontinue them. I can definitely tell you, Sarah, the answer is no, because not having them was very difficult today. So these are going to be the products I'm going to be focusing on. I'm going to show you real quick, and then you're going to see my versions of them. So right here, this is Cauldron of Bats A2 stencil. Whenever you see an A2 stencil, what that means is that the size of the stencil is meant to purposely fill up an A2 card. So if you see when I place this A2 card on top of where the bats are, they disappear, right? So what it is, I'll open it for you. A2 stencils are meant to cover an A2 card front. So if you look here, you can see that I can very easily take another medium and run a different medium on top. Now it would have to be something like glitz, glaze, our new velvets, because I have this is Paper Glitz right here. So I have to use something on top of it that would dry on a non-porous surface. So do you see how that A2 is meant to purposely fill up an A2 card? And this is just something that I wanted as a card maker. You know, it's 6x6 stencils are awesome. They're great. But sometimes I want the whole entire design to just show up on my card. I don't want it to be like halfway like this, like if this was a 6x6. I want it to be all the way completely on. So that's when you see what I call A2, is that the stencil fits all of it onto an A2 card front. Hey, Matt. You see that now? You need to make sure you're looking for stuff. Okay, so then we have, so this is the A2 version. Then we have the Slimline version, okay? Now, when I do a Slimline, I do 4x10. So it's 4 inches wide and it's 10 inches tall. But I want to show you this. Do you see how this does not fill up all of this space? And it also has space here. So let me open this one and show you. Now, this one here is an A2 that I've already, Slimline. And you can see it. Well, if you're going to use the 9.5, some people use larger Slimline. At PFS, we do 8.5 by 3.5. So here I had to think about, well, actually, I must have used it upside down. Not that there's a front or back to a stencil, but I must have wanted my swirl going this way of my bats. So when I lay this down, you can actually, I could line this back up and you could see exactly where I used a product called Paper Glitz, and it's called Black Rainbow. So what I did here is this one, I made sure that most of it fit onto a Slimline card front, but I put the biggest bat up here for a reason. Do you see that big bat? That bat is big enough to where you could literally just use that bat by itself. If you wanted to, you can even cut this bat off. I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just giving you a little tip that I purposely put the largest bat at the very top just in case you wanted to have this swirl. And if you notice, what happened here is I ended up with just a little bit of bat at the top, okay? A little bit of bat cut off the sides. But to me, the most important part was I got this swirl of coming up of a whole bunch of bats, okay? So that's how, what I like to think of ways how we're going to use our products, not necessarily just buy. We want to look at our products and see what we have and put them in categories and places where we can use them in more than one way. Now, also, I'm going to be talking about the Cork Fabric. I love this stuff. I'm not joking. When Matt actually was the one, Matt can cut anything straight. He's just great. So when this came to how it was going to be cut, I said, I'm not doing it because we don't want to trust me with bolts of expensive fabric. So he hand cut these. So this is called Autumn Splendor fabric cork paper. So let me talk about it. So when you purchase it, you get 5 shades. You get one piece of 5 different colors. Okay. And I purposely did put this together so it looked like Halloween wood. This the wood ones are my favorite, but I'm going to show you the black. So the orange and the black actually have some foiling on them. I know I showed you this last night, but just to repeat, they do have some foiling on them. Where, I mean, look at this. I mean, you can't get paper like this. This is only something, and what it is it truly is cork that is glued onto fabric. Okay, so if you look at the back of it, this is what the fabric looks like. So it has fibers that are going in both directions. So because it has fibers going in both directions, you're going to want your die to always touch the part that actually cuts your dies, the sharp edges, to touch the back of the fabric paper, okay? Not put it on the cork. If you put it on the cork, it's not that it's going to mess up the cork, but you want those the sharp edges to actually come in contact with the fibers. Because if you know anything about fabric, you know there's fibers going in all different directions. So you want the sturdiest part, if you will, of the die to actually come in contact with the actual fabric of the cork paper. And yes, guys, they're gorgeous. I mean, when I was shown them at market, I was like, okay, here's my credit card. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but they're amazing. So you get, in this autumn Splendor, you get 5 different shades. You get one piece of each shade, and they're 6 by 6. Okay. Then we're also going to talk about using these 2 products. Now, I discovered something today that I'm super, super, super excited, but I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. These are called Haunted Layer. Now, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I was giddy when I was at Creativation. These probably will come out in stencils as well because they are fabulous. They are just that awesome. But I figured out today, if you tear them in half, they look like spooky fences. So let me show you. So these are called Slimline Haunted Layer and A2 Haunted Layer. So let me show you. So this is what the haunted layer looks like when you die cut it, okay? Also, everybody knows whenever I die cut something, I always look at the negative, right? Very, very important. Use your product that you have. Well, when I was looking at the negative of the Slimline A2 Haunted Layer, check it out. It gives you like a spooky background, right? It's like its own little cover plate. Look at that. And I know that, some people might think I'm cheesy or whatever, but this excites me because, I didn't make this product. I made this product for you to use this. I didn't make it for you to use the outside of it as a cover plate. I mean, guys, okay, I know I'm corny. This makes me very happy. So all I did is this is what I had, right? I die cut, and I left this in here for a reason because I wanted to show you. All I did was die cut this. Okay, pretend it's perfect. Die cut it, and then take this out. And this would normally be trash, right? Oh, no, 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 no. It is a really cool frame. So that's what the first card I'm going to show you today is. Now, let me talk about this. You guys have seen me ink blend many of times, and you've seen me stencil many of times. So this is the Slimline Cauldron of Bats, and this is with our Glitz product. And it's super, super shiny, and it's like a rainbow inside of black mica, okay? And what's great about our Glitz, and this month we have the line Tarp Glitz. What's great about our Glitz is that it's very malleable. It also is flexible. So here are some ghosts that I cut out earlier, and you can see it's extremely flexible. And actually, Sydney made this for me. Our 26-year-old, gosh, she used like 4 times the amount of Glitz that she needed to use. I mean, this ghost is like, this is a thick ghost. Okay, you don't need to use this much. Anyway, our Glitz is, I mix the glitter for all of our Glitz products, and some of them, they range anywhere between 5, and I think the last one was somewhere between 19 different shades of glitter. So you are never going to have a flat, dull glitter glitz with us. It's always going to be multiple colors. It's self-leveling, and it doesn't. There's some similar products on the market that have been there a long time, and they come in those little bottles. I'm not going to say what they are. However, sometimes when you use other products, it evaporates, and the only thing that's left is like a clear glue with little teeny tiny flecks of glitter. This has so much glitter in it. It's glitterier than glitter paper. They're crazy good. And this is the new Paper Glitz. And I know people ask me what's the difference between Paper Glitz and Lux? And I can show you. Hey, babe, I'm sorry. Guys, can you grab that? No. It's the gingerbread house on the other side that's not on a card. So glitz is very liquid. Okay, when you open your glitz, you need to stir it. Okay, look how much glitz that girl used on one piece of paper. It does always need to be stirred, and it self-levels. And by the way, please always store any mixed media product. It doesn't have to just be ours. Please store it lid up. Don't ever store them face down, because you're asking for a disaster. So I wanted to show you the difference between our Lux. So do you see how thick this Lux is on this gingerbread house? Super ultra glittery. But do you see how it kept its shape? Okay, I did apply this with a paintbrush. I did kind of just glob it on there. But Lux is a very thick product, and it's meant more to be used with something like this, where now look at the glitz. Do you see the difference? This is Lux and this is glitz. And you can see glitz is meant more or less to be used, just on a regular die cut, instead of, you can use obviously Lux on a regular die cut also, but there's a big difference in them. They're not the same at all. Okay. So let me show you this card, and I'm not going to finish this card, but so here's this. I did use Distress ink with my life-changing blender brushes. I used the trash part of the haunted layer. I'm not even going to worry about this part. Then I took the haunted layer, and I took one of them, and I ripped it apart. Okay, and these are all the pieces that I ripped apart. Some of them I might have left over there, but I was going to use the haunted layer like for a shaker card, and then it dawned on me, wait a minute. After I ripped it apart, this looks just like a spooky fence. Look at that. Doesn't that look like a fence? So what I did is I said, okay, well, here are my bats. Here is my orange tree. Okay, I'm probably going to maybe put him down there with my frame. No, it needs to go on top of the frame. There's my frame. There's my tree. And here's my fence, right? So I thought, oh, okay, well, that looks good, black on black. No way. How about we take paper velvet, and we mix two paper velvets together. And this is really hard to see because what I did is, we don't have brown paper velvet, but we have black and orange. And guess what makes brown? Black and orange. So I mixed black and orange together. And now I have a spooky brown fence to put across the bottom of my card. Isn't that fun? So let me try to lift this up for you, Matt, so you can see if I can get the color of the brown to show. Yes, the cork also would make a really good fence. So here, when I put this card together, this will be my spooky fence, but I didn't want my fence to just be black. I wanted it to have a contrasting color. So that's why instead of just using the paper velvets, I took the orange paper velvet and black paper velvet, and I mixed them together. So let me show you what I did. So here's paper velvet. So, I'm going to show on this one. So here's a little bit of black. Okay, this is paper velvet, paper glaze velvet. There's some black. And then here's some orange. Okay, and I'm going to mix the two of these together. And they are going to turn into a very dull black. Now it's going to be matte finish because that's what is awesome about our new paper glaze. Paper velvet, and put a little bit more orange in it because our paper velvet dries shimmery but not glittery. So if you think of it more like a velvet, okay, instead of slick like paper, like regular paper glaze, I'm gonna put a little bit more orange. And you can see how easily now I have chocolate frosting. Can y'all tell how brown that is? And then I just took it and swiped it right across my fence. Now I could have done this on a piece of paper and then die cut the paper, which I normally would have done, but I already had die cut this fence. So I decided, oh, let me just spread it like this. And look, if you want, you can even make your fence kind of old looking by puffing up. Can y'all see those puffs? Puffing up on the fence a little bit. And when this dries, it's going to dry like that, kind of looking old and broken and stuff. All right. So that was super easy. And notice I just mixed it right here on my excess paper. Normally at home I would have done it on like a glass mat or something, but you know, you got to do what you got to do, right, babe? So let me get this out the way. Let me throw this piece of paper out. All right, so here's one card that I have that I wanted to show you guys. So this is one idea, right, with the cork paper. Now let me show you what else I have thought up about the cork paper. So obviously I'm going to put it all together and add some sequins and stuff, but I want to show you some more things. So let me show you two more backgrounds, okay? Now, yesterday, okay, so let me show you. This is my goof up, my big goof up of me trying to make a moon by myself. So this is my moon, and I just cut a circle and tried to layer the circle, and it didn't look too hot. So what I ended up doing is I just took my spatula and just scraped it across, and then I took a scratched piece of paper and just scraped all of it across, and then smeared it onto an extra piece of paper. So it's not bad. It's not terrible. I mean, it's not the most beautiful background out there, but if I take a tree, do y'all see that? If I take a tree, let me use the one made out of wood. If I take one of these trees, which is what my goal was, and I put a tree on top of that moon, beautiful sentiments, decorated it up a little bit, that right there is the black on the yellow background seeped under the bat. No, it will not. No. But what this is right here, this is a mess. So I started using the white Lux, okay? and I put the white Lux down. It didn't look too good, so I scraped that off. And when you scrape Lux off, it actually it becomes opaque, but it becomes opaque where it becomes more than semi-opaque, but not like completely. So here I put the lime velvet. I should have taken a picture of this. So I put lime velvet all over the moon, and on the inside of it, I put lime zinnia paper glaze, because I was trying to show you guys the difference between paper glaze and paper velvet. Paper velvet is a matte finish, where paper glaze is a slick finish. So it didn't look good. Okay, so this is, and now it looks like I don't, but I'm not going to get rid of it because I'm going to use it, and I'll probably end up doing something like this with this tree. How fun is that? And then we have some sequins called Alien Invasion. And I might end up throwing a whole bunch of Alien Invasion, or maybe even a spooky ghost. A spooky ghost. He's kind of big. There's a smaller one. A smaller ghost peeking out. Now, I don't have these sequins. However, last year we released this collection of sequins, and they were about frogs. And inside them, they had frogs, and they had eyeballs inside the little frog collection. Guys, if you have that, go get those little eyeballs and put those eyeballs. Yes, that too, Sarah. The little eyeballs peeking out of the little windows at the top. That would be awesome. So, I mean, it does look great. I can still use my orange tree if I wanted to. I mean, I think this actually looks better with the orange. And then I was thinking of the Alien Invasion sequence, because the Alien Invasion sequence have that funky green, like glow that's kind of going on. So I could come up here, and if I wanted to, look, you could even put alien faces on the inside of the tree. I mean, what little boy doesn't want an alien tree, right? Actually, we will be having dinosaurs coming out very soon as I design them, because our grandson, he's fixing to turn 3, and he's obsessed with dinosaurs. I bought him a little box the other day. It had dinosaurs on the outside of the box for him to store his dinosaurs. Guys, he just loves the box. We'll have dinosaurs soon, so Maverick can have little dinosaurs. But isn't that cute? I mean, I actually like this. Now, let me show you another mistake, because I truly believe that making mistakes is where you learn the most. Okay, so do you see this mess, this hot mess? It actually looks really good. This was the back of this front. So you know what happened, right? Whenever I decided this was a mess, I just opened the card and I scraped all the medium off of this. And I took this and just spread it across. And then I was like, okay, well, that looks great, but I want you to look closely at it. Could you help me? Do you see how it has texture to it? Here. Do you see it has this texture to it? That is a paper towel. Okay. So this is what this is. This is glaze, paper velvet, and paper Lux all mixed together, because I was trying an experiment that did not work, right? And so I scraped it off of this and scraped it onto this is black cardstock. And then when I was bringing it over there and I took a paper towel out, I'm like, wait a minute. Let me just spread this across. And then I took a paper towel while it was still wet and just lightly pushed down. Oh yeah, lights would be awesome. Push down and look at that texture I got. Isn't that great? Just with the paper towel. So now we have this one. If we want, I really like the orange on top of the green. Okay. And I'm going to be honest with you. You know why? Because there's no other time in the whole year that you could put orange and green together, throw some purple on top, and somebody else loves it. I mean, come on. When can you use those three colors together? Except during Mardi Gras, where we live in Louisiana. So we have purple. Our Mardi Gras colors are purple, gold. What are Mardi Gras colors? At the moment, they slip my head. Purple and green. Yeah. So what other time of the year can you do that? Right? So this is really fun. And then I thought, I could add some ghosts. Those are a little, but I love, this is one of my favorites, new mixes. And this is, what is this called? I forgot. Skeleton crew. So all these little skeleton heads on here, I could come and you could like literally just add them wherever you like on here. And they're just the perfect little let me just spread them around. They're just the perfect little combination. I wouldn't finish this, of skeleton heads with orange on top of that cork paper. Isn't that great? Yeah, I really am happy with this. So this is what I wanted to do tonight. I wanted to just play with some things with you guys and show you all the different ways that you can take products and use them in ways that necessarily the designer, the artist, the illustrator didn't necessarily think of. Because sometimes we're thinking, oh, I just need to get my Halloween done and do so I can order it and get it out. Well, I love the fact that when it all comes in, you can take it and play with it, and then bada boom, bada bang, you end up with all these cool things. Okay, so this right here is what the paper velvet looks like. If you see, this is paper velvet is going to give you a matte finish. Do you see that? It's not shiny. So this, do you see this green one right here, how it has glitter in it? That's because it had Lux mixed into it. That was just an accident. So here you can see the difference. The Lux is very, very matte and it looks like velvet. But check it out. It holds its shape. Okay? See this? This was done yesterday. It completely holds its shape. So think about, you can die cut your tree in whatever you want and then come back and add pounce on top of your tree with your spatula and you get this awesome, amazing texture. So there's the three colors of the velvet. So there's the Halloween colors: green, lime, orange, and then black. And I'm going to tell you, this black is black. If you see this, it's not a gray. It is not charcoal. It is solid black. Actually, you want to see how black it is? Watch. It's white on the back. Do you know if you're glitz? Yes. So all of our paper mediums, our paper glaze, our paper glitz, our paper glaze velvet, our paper glaze luxe, they all will adhere to pretty much any surface. Definitely ceramic, definitely cement, glass. I mean, I know I have to take my glass mat and scrape it off after. One day, my husband, he builds custom homes, and he did not have a marker with him, but he needed to write the address on a house. So he was bringing home the first sample of paper glaze velvet to me. And guess what he did? He opened it up, he stuck his finger in it, and he wrote on the side of the house number with the paper glaze velvet, because, well, he could have used any of them, but he just had velvet in this truck to bring home to me from the warehouse. So yes, they dry on porous and non-porous surfaces. And you can even use them to write your address on your house if you want to do that, All right, so let me show you. So how did I do this tree? So this tree came, and when I cut it, it's cork fabric. It's not like really, really hard, right? So what happened is I took black cardstock. You don't have to use black. You could use brown. I wanted black because I was doing orange. I should have done probably a color closer to this. And all I did was glue this. I started at the base. Okay. Everything tonight seems to be backwards for me. I started at the base. I put a little bit of glue right here. Okay. Put a little bit of glue. And then I lined up the base perfectly. Then I flopped my tree upside down like this. Okay. Flopped them down. Put a little bit more glue. Laid it out. Okay. Flopped it up again. Put more glue. Focused on just getting this side perfect. Okay. Super easy if this is the way you do it. I do not suggest that you put glue all over this and then try to layer your cork paper on top, because especially this tree, it's very delicate and it does have these little teeny tiny branches that you could very easily mess up. And you can actually, if you see mine, it's not perfect, but it's okay. It's good enough. All right. So let me show you some other ideas I have. About the products that we have out. So this is the Haunted layer. This is the Slimline version. So let me take it out. And when it comes out very nicely. And it has all these little pieces in it. Do you see these pieces that come out? I don't throw these pieces away. I would put them in a little bucket like this. And I'm not going to keep them for life, okay? But when I'm working on projects like this would be awesome to cut this up into a whole bunch of like maybe 4 or 5 different colors and pieces together with orange and purple. Oh yeah, you know it'd be great? You could die cut it, these colors with your Haunted layer, and then come and just paper piece the pieces together. That would be pretty, and it would not take long if you used a sequence tool, because a sequence tool will pick up. So if you just push all of these out, and I know a lot of people have like those little tools that they use. I usually just have a paper piercer and I just, get it done. So what I thought, another thing that I want to do is, so this is a piece of gray paper. And another card that I want to make is I want to take, so see how cool, look how cool that layer is. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it fits perfectly on a Slimline card. And then, you know what, guys, if you're in a rush, how about you just take some ghosts? Look at those glittery ghosts. I don't have them in different colors, but you could take your ghost and there you go, right? Or turn it this way. And you can even put a nice, look how nice the black tree is. You can really see the gold flake, the gold foiling in it. Where'd that go? So here we go. But you want to use a contrasting tree. So you could put the layer down and then put the tree on top. How beautiful is that? And if you wanted, you can come back with, I think it's okay. Matt took my wet fencing, but it's okay. It doesn't have to come back. Where is it? Anyway, just pretend I cut this out of brown. I mean, isn't that just awesome? But I have something else. This is how I figured out this was looking like a fence. I want to take this. Now, I don't know why I'm sitting here tearing it with scissors. It's Halloween. It's supposed to be ripped, right? And I want to rip this in half. And I do want it to go from edge to edge, so it's more like a triangle shape, like this, okay? To where this is what my layer looks like. And then I'm going to take see all these ideas. I have lots of ideas. I just don't have time to get them done, right? Like everybody else. Then I'm going to take the A2 Cauldron. Okay, even though this is Slimline, I'm going to take this stencil. And I want it to look like bats are flying out from under this. Okay, so just imagine how cool that would look. I mean, you could even turn it where actually, if you wanted to, you could flip it over and have the bats coming from different directions. I know people always ask me, and I don't know why, if stencils have a front and a back to them. No way, guys. There's no front and back to your stencils. Now that you're talking about spider web, Sarah knows some secrets, okay? That's all I've got to say. She's teasing you with saying spider web. Yeah, this is going to go excellent with something that Sarah got in the mail. And she knows she's being a bad girl, right? So that's what I want. Or another thing, I want to do a slimline card where this is the back, okay, a full front. I just want to glue this down, use our full front shaker die, fill it with shaker pieces, and then we have these ghosts. This is the spooky town. These are smaller ghosts. And I'm going to pick out some of these teeny tiny little ghosts and have like glue them down where they stay stuck. Okay. But make a full front shaker out of this. Isn't that fun? So you see, you don't have to use this layer together. You can cut it apart to make it show half and half. I mean, it could be, or you could use the excess of the layer to come on top and use it as a frame. Isn't that awesome? It's so cool. All right. Now, I have one last thing to show you. I'm not going to keep you on too long tonight. I do have an A2 card front, and I die cut, if I can find it. What I wanted to show you is that this tree, I've been showing it to you on Slimline cards, right? But truly, this tree is called A2. And again, when I call something A2, I mean literally it fits perfectly. A rope on on a pirate. That's funny, on a pirate boat. Good idea. Look how awesome that cork paper is, just on a plain piece of gray paper. I mean, the possibilities are endless. On top of velvet, so you can really see the contrast here. See how that cork, and then you get the velvet in the background. Yeah, everyone needs this tree die. Yeah, so I have a thing. I love trees. I'm not gonna lie. I have always loved them since I was a kid. I wanted to show you. This is the A2 layer. It doesn't show much on here. Let me put it on. Let's see. This is perfect. Okay, so this is an A2 size card, but this is the A2 layer. So it does also the same fun pattern, but it didn't cut. I can't find something that's the right size so you can see it. How about this? Oh, wait. Here we go. This is A2. So this is my goof up from earlier, but look how cool that is. Do you see how I had ripped the paper? Like just rip the paper in half to die cut it and run it through. And it gave me this fun, funky edge. How cool is that? Again, this is the trash that came from the haunted layer. So there is my fun goof up card. And then if you wanted to, you could come in with a black tree, or what happened to that? Oh, there it is. Look at this, looks really good. These three contrasting, because you've got the plain black cardstock, you've got the glittery mess that I made, and then you have this beautiful cork tree. What else did I cut a black? Well, let's see what the orange looks like. And you can see that see how thick this tree. I did back this twice on thick black cardstock. You can put it directly on your paper if you want. Okay, this is super cute. Here we go. This is a done card. The orange with this orange tree with the fun torn edge of the layer. Yeah, you need the big bat in the center of the sun. Oh, make a big white bat. Carol, that is a very good idea. Where's that stencil? So guys, you know what she's talking about. She's talking about this bat. There it is. She's talking about this big bat. See this bat that I put way up here on top so you can use it separate? She's saying that, could we put the tree? Let's see. Does the tree fit? Well, you know, you could have a whole bunch of black bats coming across, but she's saying to take these. I think these 3 bats would fit, and put those 3 bats. I would do it in white, or maybe even a silver, and then you'd have those 3 bats coming off of that moon. That's a great idea. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, it's been about an hour, and this is pretty much. Sometimes we will complete cards when I come on the day after the release on the 16th of every month. However, I am on vacation, so I really didn't have time to make a whole bunch of different cards with everything going on, but I love to sit down and just play. This is how I come up with new products right here. This is how it happens. This is how Paper Glaze and all the other mixed media products came about, was me goofing around with something, you know, looking at the trash, right? And looking at the trash and going, gee whiz, that is wouldn't this be a great shaker card? I mean, seriously, put some acetate on that, put that in here, and that's a great shaker card. I mean, and it's the trash, right? There you go. All right. Well, guys, this is the last time you're going to see me this week. Remember, in the future, we have discontinued our 7 and 7. However, don't hang up yet or disconnect yet. Starting next week, you will have a live once a week throughout the entire month of our August. See, we release on August 14th. So really our release is half of August and half of September. And then our next release is September 14th. So for the next 4 or 5 weeks, I think it is. I don't remember off the top of my head. You will have a live with one with Sarah, one with Jen, one with Charlene. So you'll have 3 more lives this month. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for wishing me well on my vacation. This is where our daughter lives, our 26-year-old, and she's not married and doesn't have kids. So we come down quite often to spend time with her. All right. So, guys, I'll see you soon. You never know. I might slip in for a live this coming month. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. See you later.